increased by plus 0.8% this month, and our AFC Vietnam Fund increased by plus 3.6% according to internal estimates. This fantastic outperformance versus the index is even more visible when you look at quarterly performance numbers. So Q3 2021, the index actually declined by 4.7%, while our AFC Vietnam Fund increased by plus 10.9%. Hi, my name is Andreas Vogelsanger. I'm the CEO of the AFC Vietnam Fund. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and switch on the notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. After a volatile summer period, the index traded in a narrow range for the first half of the month before financial problems of one of China's leading property developers, Evergrande, rattled world markets. Nevertheless, the small cap index was even able to make new highs, and the market breadth, so advanced decline ratio, improved significantly. Combined with continued high volume on positive days, this results in a perfectly designed bull market continuously driven by local investors and missed out, unfortunately, by foreign investors. But the most important market impulse this year was certainly a change in local investor behavior. Also, foreign market participation was never over 20% in previous years. Local investors were always trying to catch up with foreign investors and therefore intensifying the move of stocks when foreigners were buying or selling. Since the better part of fund flows was from ETFs, which pre-announced their reshuffling of their portfolios on certain dates, domestic investors also tried to front-run the rebalancing of these foreign ETFs. And that also partly explains why foreign ETFs have performed so badly over the years. Here, the blue line, you see the FUNEC VNM ETF since its inception in 2009. And after 12 years, as of today, investors are still losing money. And the red line is our AFC Vietnam Fund, which launched around 8 years ago. And investors, which invested right at the beginning, have more than tripled their money so far. One other interesting fact was that for the first time in history, the yields of the 5-year government bonds were lower than in the US. And yes, we are talking about Vietnamese government bonds. So with low interest rates, less maybe attractive investments in the real estate markets, we saw a lot of new investors, retail investors, domestic retail investors coming to the market and opening new brokerage accounts. You can see that the trend is the blue bars, which show the opening of new accounts. And obviously that created a lot of demand for stocks. And during the lockdowns, people had probably more time to study stock markets and hence opening these accounts, and obviously also increasing demand for stocks, which helped the index to perform very, very nicely over the last few months, as you can see from this chart. But when you look at where we stand in terms of retail brokerage accounts, we are only around 3.6% of the population, which if you compare that with Taiwan, it looks like we are still in 1985 in Taiwanese terms. You know, Taiwan was there a long time ago. Now they have over 90% of retail investors have a brokerage account. Also, if you look, for example, at South Korea, the picture is very, very similar. And we expect that trend of brokerage accounts to continue for the foreseeable future. So we are at the very beginning still. US inflation this is the chart here, which you see, and it's obviously was a big topic over the last few weeks. People were continuously talking about what inflation really is in the various countries, and also it will be an issue for Vietnam, and the government really needs to have a look of how they can tackle this inflation problem, and hopefully not to pass on the whole inflation to the population. But in the US, clearly the trend is upwards, and if you look at the next slide, which shows the commodity prices, natural gas, coal, and electricity prices, all points to